Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is a great day for me personally, for this channel, because today I've done the first full clear of Horrific Vision of Orgrimmar solo on my casually geared Demon Hunter ilevel 446. All information is presented to you on the screen, but I'm also very quickly showing all my talents, all my kind of possessions there in the background. This is a guide. I'm going to make a conscious effort to overlay map and show you how I went through the vision. And I'm not going to ramble too much. At the very least, please understand that I'm making my best effort here not to do that, not to annoy you too much. This is an overall map of how we're going to run through this. If you are seriously taking this as some sort of a guide, please feel free to pause. I cannot keep these overlays on the screen for too long because the the movement is going to change too fast. So we are going obviously in the order as the bosses are shown on the map. We're going to boss number 1, then boss number 2, or area number 1, area number 2, and so on and so forth until we return back to this area and hit Thrall. Alright. So what you will see, especially if you're one of those subscribers who have been supporting me the whole time, I very much appreciate you, by the way, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. I have changed my spec a tiny bit, and I have also obtained the essence that I didn't have before, which is called Purification Protocol. I highly recommend it, and while I cannot say whether or not it was what made the biggest difference, I do believe that it added quite a lot of AoE damage and DPS that I was missing. So it certainly played a very important role in my run. Purification Protocol is obtained from Rust Bolt Resistance. You need to be at least friendly with them, and I have a rank 2 Purification Protocol, but I think that, to be honest with you, what it gives you for rank 2 versus rank 1 is probably not worth the grind, personally, my opinion. I think that you will be okay with the Essence rank 1 Purification Protocol, alright? Now, everything else, also the stats and everything, you saw what I have. So I planned the path in a certain way where I did the test runs on my slightly less geared and with slightly fewer Mother's Archives talents Demon Hunter, Horde Demon Hunter, who you've seen in a couple of other videos. I made a tactical mistake earlier and couldn't do this clear earlier, but this is an intense, super awesome run that I feel really good about, okay? So what we're doing here, my tactic is, and that kind of test runs showed that I'm generally performing better if I play this way, is if I pull as many as possible of those, not as many as possible, but this specific order. I pull the 2 big guys to this first big faceless guy, who I found really difficult to taunt and difficult to move. I made a conscious decision to also be very clear, very careful about my movement, not to get stunned by those shadow images that I spoke to you about in the video where I was clearing with 4 chest run, okay? I am also, as you can see, I'm starting with the hardest area. I think this makes sense, because if you fail, I'd rather fail on the most important area, or basically if I see that something went really wrong, I was really inefficient, I got stunned somewhere, something horrible happened, and I wasted, say, cranial defibrillation or something else too early, it would have told me that I am not gonna make it, and I might as well just, you know, cut the run short and not push too hard. Doing easier bosses straight away doesn't make sense to me, because you might go alright and then you might screw up on the final one. So on the final hardest area. I do recommend, as a guide part of this, for you to do this as a first area, as a first boss. So I'm basically, as you can see in this area, you need to do sufficient amount of kills within this valley. So that again, because I didn't study very closely other videos of other people doing full clears, and because I was discovering it all myself, it did cost me a few vessels of Horrific Visions on my test runs, as I'm referring to them, on my other Demon Hunter. Because I take it kind of seriously in a game kind of playful type of way, casual playful way, I basically had to sacrifice a lot of those vessels on my other Demon Hunter, and I recommend that you have 2 of your favorite class if you really feeling serious about making progression on the first one, on your main one count, use your test one for those wasted attempts. That's what I effectively did here. As you can see, I'm cutting it really short to spending my my sanity. In this area, it's very difficult to go completely sort of towards 0 of sanity and only then summon the orb, simply because if you do that, there is a chance that those images are going to pop out when you are just flying around on your mount or moving around, and you will be stunned and you will lose that last moment to summon the orb. You know what I'm saying? So basically you will just lose that chance of replenishing your sanity because you cut it too close to, you know, to the expiry of your last bits of sanity. Yeah. Be careful. Yeah. See, find the exit out of the circle, exit the circle. Obviously do not stand in crap. Do not stand in crap, move out. So we now, I think, dealt with all of the mobs that we needed to kill just for the volume in that, and now the actual boss of the valley comes. This guy is hard. This guy summons a lot of crowd control things. He also summons ads. He summons the circle of orbs that you either need to be outside of, like outside like I am right now, or you need to stay inside and not touch the orbs, not to get stunned. The issue is that they fly out then like this, and if they hit you, you're stunned. Your worst nightmare here is to get stunned, not to get hit, not to take damage and stuff. I'm sure we all have enough damage mitigation plans. But if you get stunned, you're screwed. And this is what you have to avoid, quite obviously. Now we're done with boss number 1. We are taking the path towards the boss number 2. And annoyingly enough, even though I exited the extra area where these stunning kind of images have to work, they still work somehow for a bit when you just exited the gate. But that's okay. That didn't do anything too bad. Here, we have been here many times. If you've been watching my videos and you've been following me on this literally journey of how I was progressing through horrific visions, how I was getting further and further and further from 1 chest to 2 chests to 3 chests and so on, we've been here many times. There is nothing that you're going to see here aside from maybe some little sense of desperation from me, because I was pushing really, really hard here. I was really trying to pull, like right now, for example, I mount, I go past this group. I don't even collect any chests, as you can see, because I know I'm cutting it short. I know for a full clear, as a demon hunter who doesn't have stealth like druids, who cannot escape, who has to face the music, so to speak, all the time, I cannot skip. I have to play it honestly, and I have to really go full on. This is where Purification Protocol, like this, was a very good pull that shows to you if you pull several ones, you can really save a lot of time because it kills a lot of mobs in one go. And then all you need to do is just click on those totems, and you are practically home free. Well, not home free, but you are towards the last boss of this area. To be honest with you, seeing 2 orbs still remaining around this moment in time, and knowing that I've done all the other bosses already in my previous runs, in my other runs, made me feel relatively comfortable. It didn't, like, it was intense. I didn't relax at this stage, and I don't suggest that you do, but I can tell you, because I've done the other bosses many times already by now and wasted a lot of vessels of horrific visions on them, my biggest issue was to see how fast I go through the hardest area, which was area number 1. And by now I feel like I'm doing okay. I just got 200 sanity back from the Elite Extermination talent, which is fantastic. Don't even try to do this without Elite Extermination talent. I wasted at least 2 vessels of horrific visions because I did them on my other Demon Hunter, who did not have that talent just yet. So now maybe there is a more rational way to go through this, possibly behind the central building in Orgrimmar where Thrall is. I suspect I could have maybe taken the path behind there, not to take this long road. So there must be a way to make it more, you know, rational. But yeah, I'm still a learner, not claiming to be an expert. People are already clearing it with a whole bunch of masks. But let's not forget for a split second that they are not casually get those people. They're at the very least exceeding 450, at the very least. And very, very often those trailblazers, who I definitely respect, but they are using stealth classes. This is just to highlight that this is heaps of fun and a lot of personal challenge for us as casuals who have to be visible to the boss. Yes, demon hunters are very strong. They're very dashy, very fast compared to a lot of other classes. A lot of other classes would struggle just with speed of traversing through this space, just speed. But it's still not a walk in the park, my friends, not a walk in the park. Okay, so we are clearing the drag. You've seen it many times. I am trying to, because now I have Purification Protocol, I'm trying to pull as many as I can to make the Purification Protocol hit count. This is where I panicked a tiny bit, because you saw just a second or two ago how low my health went, because you pull this whole bunch and then there is one little deceivingly weak looking mob who is going to do that 3-second or 4-second stun, and in here it feels like ages. It feels really like an eternity. If he stuns you and you simply cannot recover or dash further towards your healing soul fragments, you're screwed. You're really screwed. Okay, so in here, once again, not much to be said about this area. You've seen it many times, except normally I still leave the... oh no, they're still standing there, the Faceless and the two of his friends. I often, kind of to save time, I often pull that last group before the mini-boss, before the boss, and then I return and kill this guy. But I didn't this time. As I recommended to you before, fairly obvious recommendation, but you have to take advantage of it. You summon the orb and then you pull the group into the orb. Except this deceivingly weak mob, example of one, I'm telling you, like that caster at the back. I left him at the back, obviously I couldn't pull him. I didn't do lost pulls here. I know a lot of people are masterful with that, so I'm gonna probably get better. And I can't even think about bracing myself through Stormwind, because in Stormwind there are so many... yeah, Stormwind is a nightmare. Let's just not stress about it today. Let's celebrate today, because I'm really still super excited on the heels of... hot on the heels of just making it. I wasn't even planning to publish a video today, but I thought you guys deserve it. You are supporting me. I'm just sharing my joy with you here and welcoming you to the club, to the little club, and encouraging you to subscribe, because I have other classes which I'm going to, in case you're new here, I have other classes that I'm currently gearing. Like, they're all leveled obviously, but I'm gearing them, and now I understand how hard, now I have full taste of what it takes to go through this, right? So I am going to be doing more horrific visions on those classes, on the Druid, on the Paladin possibly, on definitely Death Knight. So that is something for you to subscribe for, and we might have a lot of fun together still in the months to come. Also, kind of while not much else is going on here, I just killed him and I'll go towards Rexa, obviously, last area remaining. I will just say that at the moment of recording and publishing this video, there is a lot of conversation on World of Warcraft Reddit that I'm, as any fan, I'm visiting very often. It's talking about the alpha for Shadowlands starting very soon. People are speculating, obviously, when it will start. Some people are saying that it should start as early as towards the end of February, which is like within a week or two. And some people are saying very early March. So I am definitely, as a fan of the game, I'm hoping to get into it. And if I do, oh my god, we're gonna have so much fun. So definitely subscribe. Yeah. Over here in this Rexa area, as you can see, I pulled straight away Misha and straight away the first group, because Misha is really not particularly intimidating. It's probably the easiest, I find Misha probably the easiest elite in this whole run. Which is why, like, I killed Misha without any issues. Like, we can't even compare the difficulty of Misha with, let's say, the difficulty of that faceless guy who is hiding, who is guarding the entrance of Valley of Spirits, where Zekan is. And here I'm also being fairly cheeky and fairly brave. And I'm not asking for any brownie points, I'm just calling it for what it is, right? It's being very cheeky. I'm pulling such huge groups that I normally would not have dared. But here I was really hoping, like, I looked at the map there a little bit earlier, you saw, and I was like, I can do this. I can actually do this. And this is where it got real. So this is where I had to keep pushing. This is where I was like, no, when I was stunned. And I'm sure you will be as well. Share in the comments down below if you're a casually geared person not overgearing severely, not stomping this content. I have respect for you guys, but I'm interested in my crowd of casuals who make it happen. And share your findings. Share what you've done. Share how you've done it. On what class. I'm really, really excited to have new people joining the, this Gyrotex community, a little growing community, and hearing about your experiences. I'm learning from you guys, and I'm grateful for your patronage. Once again, we're hitting Rexxar with Purification Protocol and pretty much everything I could, except they all stun you, basically. That's what these bastards do. And when you get stunned, you're just like, no! But in this case, Rexxar was a little bit of a scare, because I knew that Rexxar, I have one more orb left, I have a little bit of sanity left, I need to kill him, and he will give me 200 sanity just to make it home. Now, one thing that may not be obvious to you, it was not obvious to me on the previous runs, but when you take this flight from this totem, when you take the flight back, the time freezes. So don't worry about your sanity as you fly back for these few seconds. It's kind of like a one long stun, right? So if this whole time you're stressing about your sanity depleting and you just dying in flight, it won't happen. And that's one good thing that they've done for us, Blizzard. I mean, they've done a lot of good things with this, because that's like the best feature of 8.3, am I right? But really, if my sanity was still depleting while I was flying, then I would have had to use the orb, but I didn't, okay? So I used the orb. We already know from the 4 chest clear, we already know that Thrall is going to have Rexxar's pets, and he got abilities of each one of the individual bosses who I've defeated. So in addition to everything we've seen, he's just now going to leave splashes of purpley black crap on the ground that you should not stand in. I don't need to tell you this. Again, we hit him with everything we have before the first stun comes. I know the stun comes, and here it is. But we still hit him for quite a while, well, by my standards anyway, with my 446 item level. And here everything just goes swimmingly. Just please enjoy. Please enjoy. No, I'm not going anywhere. We're still gonna take a look at the loot together. But I'm just gonna shut up for a minute while we kill this guy. And boom, he did. He did. Oh, the joy that I'm willing to share with my crowd here. 5 chests, my friends, 5 chests. And the first, you will see that I'm about to get a mask. I was so excited, and I had no idea where this mask goes, that I actually ran out of the instance, and I don't have any vessels of horrific vision to come back into this chamber. This chamber is where you are supposed to be handing in that mask. I'm about to get it from a chest. Take a look. Maybe next one. Yeah, big one probably. There we go. See, there is a quest. So the head that I got, the helmet, is not better, but heaps of mementos. And then there is this awesome faceless mask. That's my first one. First one is always the most exciting one, isn't it, guys? And yeah, so I was so excited that I was like, oh, I hope I was recording the whole thing. Anyway, time to pipe down. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you didn't subscribe yet, please do. Why wouldn't you? Let's celebrate together. Alright, thanks very much. I will see you next time on the further videos, how I'm pushing horrific visions and other content on my other alts. Videos are coming to you every couple of days. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.